We all come to a point in our lives where we become bitter about something, right? There's always something that we hold on for too long and we let it become bitter within us. What is bitterness and how does it form? So, bitterness forms because of our mismanaged grief. I made a video about the resentment of the masculine energy, and bitterness is very related to resentment, right? When For example, if you are resentful towards the masculine within you or the masculine from other people, you might be most likely you might holding some type of bitterness about something that happened in the past that has scorned you in some certain way, that has given you some pain that you haven't allowed yourself to grieve through. Right? This is how bitterness grows within yourself. Right? And how do you know that you're bitter, right? Oftentimes people don't know that they hold some form of bitterness within them, right? Only because a lot of us don't give us the time to don't does we don't give attention to how we feel sometimes, right? Maybe you have a busy lifestyle, or you just don't go within yourself, right? How can this manifest? Well, you just people don't want to be around someone who's bitter or miserable, right? Someone who's miserable is most likely bitter about something that happened in the past, right? You're holding something in the past, and emotions and feelings don't go away, right? The emotions are it's just energy in motion, right? And you cannot destroy energy, right? So this energy needs to constantly move, right? So this bitterness within you, it's just pain within you that you unconsciously want to inflict on other people. It's just what happens. You unconsciously want to inflict pain on other people unconsciously. Maybe consciously, some people consciously they make it a goal to hurt other people because they feel like hurting other people is going to give them that relief, which is wrong, right? Um, yeah, bitterness is just disappointment, right? Bitterness starts from expectation. Expectation from getting something out of a situation, getting something out of someone, right? You expected something good to return to you, but you didn't receive it. You didn't receive the same good that you felt like you were meant to save. Like you felt like you were owed um something good out of a situation. You were owed something good from someone and you never received that, right? Like you paid your goodwill and no one some people took that goodwill and they didn't give back the same level of goodwill to you. They gave you something lower than that in your mind, right? There's no lower or higher, but in your mind you thought, if I do this good, that same level of good is going to return to me. And that didn't come. And that made you disappointed. And then you did it again. And then you did it again. The same thing happened over and over again because you felt like you were a good person. You were an empath and you're expecting to be validated somehow. You're expecting to receive something somehow and you didn't receive it. This longing to receive something, wanting to be seen, right? Um wanting to not be hurt, wanting to not feel pain, wanting to not feel punished, wanting to not feel abused. I mean, we don't want to feel that, but that is, you need to understand that that exists in the world. That it exists in the world. You live in a world of duality. You're going to feel that those emotions, right? You're gonna feel everything on some certain level. You're gonna feel everything, but you didn't expect that to happen because you thought people were genuine. You thought you had certain expectations, and that wasn't met. And so when it happened over and over again, you didn't allow yourself to grieve. You didn't allow yourself to grieve. You didn't allow yourself to feel that pain. The more it happened, the more you numbed yourself, the more you ran away from that feeling, the more you hid away from that feeling. The more you try to hide away from that feeling, because you can't hide away from feelings. The more you try to hide away from feelings, from your own feelings, from your own pain, the more you mismanage your grief. And when you mismanage your grief, you start to get bitter. You start to get bitter. You're no longer sweet. You you start to inflict pain on your not only yourself, right? You inflict pain on others. You inflict hurt on others unconsciously. You inflict pain and hurt on yourself because it's a cycle. You unconsciously believe that inflicting pain and hurt on other people is going to relieve your pain. But to get rid of that bitterness, to get rid of that bitterness, you need to feel that bitterness. You need to feel that bitterness. You need to be accountable, hold yourself accountable, hold yourself responsible for how you feel. You need to hold yourself accountable. You need to be responsible for how you feel. It's not about the external world. It's you. You're responsible for your own body. You're responsible for the emotions that you feel. You need to feel that pain. You need to allow yourself to grieve. You need to be a little tender. You don't always have to project yourself as someone who's strong and unbothered, because the world can see that you're bothered. And sometimes we're the last people to know that we're bothered. Thank you for watching this video.